The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, my name is Kuzo Kurtovic from company Carlson, and we are going to start in about 2 minutes. with our webinar about GIS360, and mostly we'll be talking about our cloud feature. But we will touch some other issues as well, so please be so kind and ask your questions, and my colleague Richard Trainer will be in the background, and he will try to answer all your questions in a timely manner. So let's hope for the best, and I wish you a nice 1 hour, and I hope you will enjoy what you will see. So one more minute, we have many more people now joining, so let's say in about a minute we will start. Almost there. I'm based in Switzerland, so let's try to be precise like the Swiss watch, like they used to say. So we are starting now with our webinar. Welcome everybody. Again, for the new who were here for the last 2-3 minutes, my name is Kuzo Kurtovic, and my colleague Richard Trainer will also support me during this webinar, and we will show you some powerful feature of our software GIS360. What first to say is that GIS360, whoever is familiar with it, he will know that it's running on different software platforms, and it's running on all PC platforms like Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows 7, 8, and it's running also on Windows CE and Windows Mobile 6.1 and 6.5. We also have a version on Android which will be released actually soon, and we also did some development on iOS 5, 6, and 7, so equal iPads and iPhones. So what I'm going to do, you see on my screen hopefully a small window which is representing in real time a screen of Windows Mobile 6.5 device, and I'm using a software called My Mobiler, which is free available on the net from the www.mymobiler.com. So if you have your Windows Mobile device and you would like to link it to your PC, you can use this software. And I'm going to use this also to show you some features of our field solution, but I'm going to do most of the training today in a webinar over our PC version. PC version equal can be on any tablet, outdoor tablet as well. So this PC version has also all drivers for GPSs or total stations as well, and you will be able to see what this PC version can do. So I'm starting this PC version, and first what you will see, if you look on the upper bar, it's going to connect to the internet, and it's going to load a map of the area where I'm based. So you see the progress bar, and it's loading in real time, in this case, a Google map. Originally, when you receive the software from us, the setting will not be set to the Google, will be set to a so-called disk world map. Some people may get confused with this because they can say, hey, if I zoom a bit higher than a 5.6 zoom, I don't see any map anymore. The reason why we did this was to give a user opportunity to see approximately where he is, and when he knows where he is, then he can switch to any other map type which we are supporting. And we are very proud that we are supporting about 17 different online map servers. So the first thing which I will show you, I will go to Tools and I will go to Map button, and I will change this disk world 9 tiles to, for example, Google Map, but I can go to Google Satellite, I can go to Google Terrain or Google Map China or OpenStreetMap or Yahoo Map, Yahoo Satellite, Bing Map, Bing Satellite, and 5 ArcGIS World server maps. So, and everything after these Google labels in China and so on, everything after this USGS topo map are so-called cached maps, either WMS server maps or the maps which you, or I will show you how to do it, manually saved for the purpose. If you go with your field computer in the area where you have no internet reception, you can use this feature and cache your map and take this map in the field, so you're not depending on how quick your internet is or do you have an internet at all. So for the beginning, I will start with the Google Map and Google Satellite, and if I click a button, you will see up it's coming the Swiss area where I'm based currently, and our European office is based. And as soon as it's finished, you will see the home symbol in the center of the screen. But I'm not exactly there. I would like to tell them where I am. So how to do this? I can go, I just zoom down. I will go to Tools. Just a second, please. So you see this is approximately internet speed. I have this webinar running and it's also occupying a part of the bandwidth, but it's still fairly quick. So if I would like to tell to system where I am and it should zoom where I am, I can go to Tools and go to Address icon, and I can give address and say Oberdorfstraße 8, and I can only give a post number and maybe a country, and I click on this small icon underneath of the street name, click it, he gives me latitude and longitude. I click on yes, and what you will see now, this is exactly where I'm based and where our office is. And you will see a small home symbol. As soon as map is loaded, you will see a home symbol. And if I change the map type, and you see the bottom right, we have 5 icons starting with File, Edit, GPS Tools, and Map 1. If I click on this Map 1 button, it will load me instantly a Google Satellite map. And you can see we are just next to the Zurich airport. We have a lot of airplanes coming around. But if I zoom in, I need to give a note to those colleagues of yours who been using GIS360 for a while. Just to make you aware that since about a month, we have several more zoom levels of the Google Earth and Google Satellite, Google Map and Google Satellite, and these are giving us a much better quality of our background map. So it doesn't matter, am I using it on the, on this big screen, or I go to a small device and I load the map. So allow me just to start this one, and that will be a surrounding of our office here, and I will then load them just so you can witness what I'm talking about. So this is, for example, ignore this grid lines. I will change this in a second because I was in the United States just a second ago, and I will now go to Switzerland, and we'll change the grid to Switzerland, and then we'll be properly there. What you will see then when you load the maps, that it's a far better resolution. I was always, to whoever I was demonstrating, and few of yours here online, I know I've been talking to, and I've been telling to you very proudly that our background map has a very small size. this was the case, and it's still the case, but this was the case until we didn't increase the zoom levels. Now our background maps of maybe 2 kilometer size left and right from the home symbol, maybe it's about 8 megabyte. It was about 1.5 megabyte before. Why? Because we are getting these high resolution images also in equation. So I'm loading now the coordinate system of Switzerland, and you will see now the results on the screen in a second, comparing to the screen which I'm showing you from the big PC. So far, give me about a few seconds. Now I'm going to confirm this, and then we'll be there as well. So, yes, Switzerland, that's good. And now it will load. What you will see from this will be that you can also take the maps and even do some measurements on the maps like you've been not able to do maybe before. So if I click now on the small screen on the map 1, you will see what will happen. He's now loading the tiles, and if I zoom a bit up, you will also see a very, very good resolution of a background image. And this is not a fake, this is real. So it is, and you see the speed if I zoom and pan. This unit is only 800 megahertz unit, but it's still very, very capable and pretty quick. And if you're doing the Google Map alone and not Google Satellite, it's even much quicker. So this is a little bit about it, and I will not bother you too much about other features of the GIS360 because we'll talk about cloud today mostly. But just for those people who never been witnessing it, maybe 2-3 minutes, if I have my map in the background, if my GPS is running, and I'm going to have a GPS now in a second on the roof of our office building. You see some cursor in the middle of the screen. I can move this cursor using, because it's a simulation GPS, I can move it using the arrow buttons on my keyboard. And if I would like to make a measurement, for example, of a tree, and I say OK, and I just click this bottom, in the bottom 5 icons you see in the middle GPS icon, and I click on this GPS icon, and already the measurement is done. I can put the height of the tree, I can put species of the tree, and I can put its conditions. All these attributes you are capable to create yourself with our program called Data Designer. When you install the PC, I have no reason why, but it's a modern technology. So if you miss something, I was just making a tree, and if I go to something else like a parcel, for example, and I want to survey a parcel, I will use not a GPS in this case. I will use just a pen to show you how you can go. And if you have a complex building or parcel, you can just go around and you can add your attributes, whichever you have for this particular parcel, and the parcel is be surveyed. That is how it goes basically. And we have many other methods, construction methods and so on, but this will be probably a subject for our next webinar session. And now I would like to talk further about a cloud feature. We are supporting import and export to different formats. But we still think that we should be a bit more innovative and use also cloud capabilities these days. But I will go a little bit quick about what imports we have and so on. So you can load in our software a project. You can load a kind of Google format, KMZ and KML. And you can also import a shapefile in a so-called foreground and shapefile with easting, northing. And you can also import different other formats like MDL, XDB, tiles, CSV, which will be equal to more or less an Excel, and CRD, Carlson, very well known CRD files as well. But this all is more or less importing from one program to another, our program, a shapefile, for example, or DXF file. We import also, by the way, DXF and DWG files. That's all nice and good, but it's not as advanced as these cloud features which we have. So what we are doing with the cloud, we have a different cloud capabilities, different cloud strategies. One of these which I'm going to describe you today is based on Amazon cloud servers. So I logged in several months ago to this cloud server. It took me about, I think, about maybe 10 to 15 minutes. So what I'm going to show you here is a part of our user manual. And if you don't have a user manual, please send us a request and I will be pleased to send you a link to our Dropbox. But in this user manual, on the page kind of 91, 92, 93, we are describing our different cloud features, cloud server capabilities. And starting from 94, I was describing how you can log in into the Amazon. We are not linked with Amazon, by the way, but we think that they have a very reasonable service and it's for free. So if you log to the Amazon cloud, you need to go for this procedure like described in the user manual. It's about 5-6 pages, more, no more, and it's a step-by-step procedure. So I wish you good luck. If you have any problem, let Richard or myself know and we would like to assist you. Now, after I did this, the Amazon was giving us two numbers, kind of username and a password. And our program, GIS360, if you go under Tools and you click, you see this 12 icons and you click on a cloud icon, you see here Web Cloud, Web and Cloud Servers. And if I click on a key, icon with a key, you will see here something called, and this is facultative, you can give any other name, you can use a Idiot Cloud. So no big deal, you can just type any name which you want, but if you click on this second icon from the left, you will see a cloud key. This is a name of the cloud, an access key, and so-called secret key which Amazon was giving me. Don't be afraid, even if you do a screenshots, I will not be angry on you. You can use it and log on my cloud server. I have no problem with it. But if you want to have your own, please let me know and I can help you to do it. So when you did once and set up everything, you just say yes. And what the system will do now, it will go directly to the internet. It will go to Amazon Cloud Server and will show you a following feature. Will show you Cloud Server possibility, will show you Cloud Projects. These two things we are holding in Amazon Cloud. Everything after is something what I will spend a few words a bit later. So if I, for example, go and say, show me my projects in my cloud server, you can think on these cloud projects as moving files to a Dropbox. I think most of you are using today Dropbox. So this is nothing more than kind of a Dropbox of ours. You save your projects in the Dropbox, but what is the project file? You see this PRJ file. Option which we have in GIS360 is that you can save your country, datums and projections. You can save your background map. You can save the certain amount of the zoom level to your background map to where your home symbol is. And you can put some maps on it as well, so DXF or DWG maps. And then you can save this with using the first icon underneath of our program. I will go out of the cloud. You will just go here, File, and you will say Save. And then you will change this KMZ or to project file. And then you will say Save as a project file. You give the name. And then it will ask you immediately, hey, I will say webinar and one, and I will say save, and he will try to save, and he'll say immediately, hey, do you want to upload this to cloud? And I will say yes. And now what it's going to do in real time, it's already finished. Whole file, including the background information, it's in the cloud. And I would like to try and show you this how it works. I will move somewhere else. I will, not even this, I will delete this screen. I will go to File and click on a New. I will move my map to who knows where. A little bit further, you'll see how the big speed on this high resolution is moving. And then I will go now to Tools and a Cloud. I will wait that he connects to a cloud, which is taking a few seconds, and you see Cloud Projects. So if I go now and go back, go down, you see now this, just that you are aware, this webinar1.prj is not on my computer. It is, I mean, I saved it, frankly speaking, on a computer as well, but I was not loading it. I was loading it now from a cloud server, which is North Dakota, Richard, or somewhere there probably. So it's there, and I will go, and it's instantly been uploaded there. So I go to webinar1.prj, I click on a plus, so I have it down. If you want to load more projects, you're welcome to do so. And now I just click on a button with the arrow, blue cloud to down, blue arrow to down, and I say, click on this. He asks me, do you want to load it from a cloud? I say, yes. You want to open webinar1.prj? I say, yes, and done. It's here, everything loaded, how it should be, with my data, and if I want to edit my data, I go to Edit Item, and I click, and you remember what I was giving here a few minutes ago. So this is how this cloud project works. But cloud projects, if you have a whole city, it's a bit difficult to load on a small device like any Windows mobile device. Why? They have a smaller and a slower processor than what we have usually on a tablet PCs or on our desktop PCs. Those units also don't have a math core processor to handle a huge number of the points and polygons. But still we have been able to load on the small data collector. We have been able to load up to 185 megabytes of project files. But that I will not recommend everybody to do. So what we have is we have also another option. So if you go to Tools, and you go to Cloud, you remember that first option was a cloud server. So I'm now clicking on a cloud server. It's talking to the server again, and I have here different databases like Cable, which when I was doing cables, or Conductores. This is, I think, from, I'm not sure, from Mexico or from Brazil. Then we have something from Carlos. Carlos is also listening us. And we have some data from White Russia, Belarus. Then we have some also server issues from ESRI, shapefiles, etc. And if I have some parcels or whatever plots, I can load them and they will appear on my screen. This is also how you can load the things. But let me show you something. Oh, and by the way, if I go to the parcels and I want to load some parcel, I say click on the parcels. You see this distance meter? I can say, hey, give me around my home symbol 1,000 meters left and right, up and down. So then you are limiting, you remember the project file, you are loading everything or nothing. In this cloud server service, which is, you can take these servers not as a Dropbox, you can take this as like you're downloading raw data from your own server in your company, and you are in the field, and you are connecting directly yourself to your database and you are not doing any conversion whatsoever. You are really talking real time with your data. What is the advantage of this? You know, we have different projects, and GIS360 is being used for, we call it systematic lane titling, and I know somebody is also listening who is guilty for this. It's a joke. And you know, you have different teams in the field. The benefit of our cloud system is if you have more teams in the field, you know, everybody can have at every single moment exactly the most accurate up-to-date data on his computer. Field computer, small one or big one. And the big advantage is this: if you do a kind of systematic lane titling, when the two teams are coming to each other closer and closer to each other, what is the biggest crime what you can do is that somebody take a double survey. I will try to simulate this on the screen. You know, if somebody goes and say, oh, I'm going to survey a new parcel, and I'm not taking care of what Jim or, you know, Carlos was doing, and I will now do a following case. I will do this and this and this and this and this and this. And I survey this and I close it. You have something like this, and this is horrible to see on the field, and especially very difficult to explain to the owner, on two owners, that whoever did a mistake. With our system, when everything is in the cloud and every team member in the field has the same data, you can see when you're approaching to each other, and then you can say, hey Jim, can I close this for you? And then you go and snap on his last data. So what I will do, I will delete this. I will just delete an object. This object, you see, will flash. I will say, okay, I will create a new parcel because now I'm having a Jim data, and I will change to snap. And I will go and snap on Jim point 1, Jim point 2, and I will change to my GPS, and I will go and collect my parcel to the end. And that's how it should be done. So that the cloud feature is helping, or will help dramatically, to do such projects like I just described. Okay. What else we have? We have questions. What all kind of maps can you load in a GIS360? And we can say, you know, pretty arrogant little bit, I apologize for this, but we can say like nobody else on the market. And we believe strongly that we can do this. We have a number of all these map servers which you saw before on the beginning of the webinar. All these maps we have here. But a question. Maybe somebody will ask, hey, can you load on my small field computer, 800 megahertz, orthophoto, which my company or my government pay heavy money to do so? Yes, we can. You can also load orthophotos using so-called WMS servers, which we are supporting in our software. And who would like immediately to see, hey, how can I do it? And if you're running your PCs now, what you can do, if you go to our, if you go to your directory where you install the GIS360 for the PC, and same is for the Windows Mobile or CE, you go to Program Files, GIS360, and you go to subdirectory called Reference. You will see there WMS and WFS files. If you don't have them, just create them. Just create them like it is now written, WFS servers.txt and WMS servers.txt, and that's it. And what you need to do then, and I'm going to open my WMS server text file, and you will see here I have a TCP IP link to a server, and this server is, let me check where it is, I think it's in the United States, it's in New Jersey. And if you have in your organization, your government, your ministry, you have your own servers and you will publish to your own teams links, then all job is already done. You will save this in your wmsserver.txt, and very simple, you will go to Tools, you will go to Map, and everything after our official list of our online map servers which we are maintaining permanently, everything's here. You see New Jersey? This is exactly the file which I just showed you in the wmsserver.txt. So as easy as it is. No programming, no, just copying and pasting. The same if you will ask us, hey, can you import, you know, I have an ArcGIS server running, and can I have an access to my vector maps which I have on the server, but you don't want to convert them to shape because the shape is, you know, a nice format, but it's a little bit old and 20 years of age, and you would like to be more fancy and more kind of more advanced. You say yes. And exactly same, you tell them, okay, send me a link for your WFS server, which is actually this ArcGIS map, more or less. Richard could tell you a little bit more, but I think we are doing WFST. And you can then log to ArcGIS server, which is who knows where, and download the map. In this particular process, I would like to demonstrate you now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to change a continent. I will go now to Cloud, and I will load a project file. Projects file being only, maybe also some vector data, but being only my background map, my coordinate system, you know, and like I said before. So I will go to Cloud here, Projects. I will let our software update to the server, to the cloud server, and I will go to a file called Farmville Cuso. And I will click on it. And I will say plus, and I will click on the blue button with the arrow to down, and it will ask me, hey, do you want to download it from a cloud? I say yes. Now it's going to do, he is now downloading from cloud, is going to wipe out all what you see on my current screen, move to the continent, change the datum, change everything, and bring me the background map which I loaded for this Farmville project. And this can be, I mean, I'm using kind of pretty quick computer, but this can be maybe a 2 minutes or 3 minutes on your Windows mobile device if you're using GPRS connection. And if I will be asked, do you want to open Farmville? Yes, I would like to open it, and pow. See, now I'm in the United States. If I zoom in, I'm now too much zoom because this project was made without these high resolution images. That was maybe 2 months ago or 3 months ago. But you can see if I click on a map 2, I have a pretty good resolution of the background map on a satellite image. And if I click one more, that's no map, it will only be vector. And if I click once more on the map button, I will have my Google map here. But I'm not talking yet to any vector data. It's only a raster data. I can either load it like I show loading this WMS server, or I can load this WFS server now. And WMS, World Map Server, or Windows Map, I think World Map Server, and WFS means World Feature Services. So what you can do now, I can go to Tools, I can go to Cloud, and I will then just wait at upload, and I will change. From no cloud projects, I will go to this HTTP address. Just to remind you, this is what is hidden in my wfsservers.txt. So if I click on this link, this TCP IP address is nothing more than what you see here when I click on this address here. And let's see what will happen. I will click on it. It will say, now what I'm doing, I'm not talking now to Amazon server in North Dakota or Ireland or wherever. I'm not talking to my server in this office. Now I'm talking to a ArcGIS server, which is I think in Tallahassee, Florida, capital of Florida. And I'm already there. And it can be, by the way, on your office, your office IT department. That's no restriction to do so. So now you see I'm talking directly to the database, and I can say, what do you want me to show now? Let me see. I would like to show you maybe some parcels, and I click on plus. And I would like maybe to show you streets. Why not? I click on plus. And I will show you some silver. I will click on a plus. And I can go maybe for something more. I can take all trees and say, okay. Now when I'm done, my area of my interest is still the center of my screen where my home symbol is placed. So I will tell now to the cloud server, ArcGIS server, I will tell him, look, give me a 500 meter, or give me 1,000, or give me 2,000, 5,000, whatever a number of the. This is the beauty, because you can load whole state. You can load Sao Paulo of 250 megabytes of shape files. But you don't want to convert the shape file. You will tell to this organization, which we will dealing in Sao Paulo, you will tell them, gentlemen, put all your maps on your server, just give us a link to the server, and then we do the rest. So then what you can do now, you can say, you know what, I know where am I. My GPS is running, if it's running. I can say I can put exactly a home symbol where my GPS is, and you know what, I will be here in this area for next 2-3 days, and give me just 1,000 meter around, and that's it. Now you click on again a blue cloud arrow to down, and you say, do you want to download from cloud? I say yes. The beauty is, it will take now maybe 2-3 minutes, but beauty is that you do not need to suffer of a low memory of your field controller, which most of you, I think, are using in the field. Very rare people are using, and our software is running on them as well, tablet PCs with Windows 7 or Windows 8. But those who are using Windows Mobile, they know probably that they have some limitation if they load a big chunk of files and they have some problems loading it, etc. With this method, this problem is gone. So now you see on the screen that software is downloading first the parcels, and as soon as they finish with parcels, we'll download streets and download the silver and download the lights, and then you will see the difference on the screen. And then you can save this as a project. Okay, he say now I'm finishing the one. He's now already download parcels. Now he's downloading the streets. As soon as he finishes the streets, it will some blue one black window will come quickly and disappear. And now he say I'm downloading the silver, and then we'll download the trees, and that is music. And you will see what you can do with all this. This is no data conversion problems at all, no missing attributes. You're talking directly to your or client database. And then you can save this as well and run on your field controller, or you can do in real time directly what I'm doing now. You can do also on your field controller. And just to let you know that all this what I'm doing now on the PC is running exactly the same on the Windows mobile device. So you see my screen on the right hand side, and now you will see as soon as I load it, you will see then, okay, he's telling me download completed. He's now downloading trees, and I'm done with a big PC, and I'm also down now on the right hand side. You see cloud server, and he already connected to cable and Carlos database, and if I change this to a projects, he will exactly go to the projects and upload domains. I have this Windows mobile device running internet now, so the same speed which I have here it's also on the Windows mobile device, and sometimes can be even better than the Wi-Fi which I'm using with the 3G or 4G depend in which area you are and how good coverage in your area is. But like you see, I have here Farmville project which I just loaded. So let me go back to my big PC, and you see everything is loaded. I click just on yes, and now I will zoom a little bit up. I will zoom here, and all my data are here. If I go to edit item and I click on a parcel, I have never seen those attributes in this, we call it schema. That has nothing to do with GIS360. It's not being created by us. It's being created by the IT guy in this department, which was uploading his database to the ArcGIS server, for example. Nothing is stopping you, by the way, to take your data from open server, GeoServer, geoserver.org. You can go, if you don't have ArcGIS server, which we like and it's very good, you can also use your own IT department to establish your own server, or you can use some open source servers which are available on the market. So you see all these attributes, they're really new to us. I mean, okay, I saw it maybe 1 or 2 months ago, but we have not been creating them. But they are here. I can check, I can change them, I can add them, I can delete them. So that's how it goes. And you see it's now highlighted the parcel which I was just editing. And if I edit something else, I want to edit sewer network, and I click on it, and he says it's a sewer. What do you want to check here? I have some geometry and sewer ID, shapes, length, etc. So this is how it goes with if you are loading to from ArcGIS server, no conversion, high speed. You know, if I do this, if I go back, really more or less instant zoom and pan, and if I zoom up and down, you see instant mapping. I can also switch the satellite image in the background if you would like to see something more. Okay, this satellite image has a limitation because I was loading the old images, but if I change here and go to map, and instead Google Satellite here from the Farmville, and I go to Google Satellite in real time, let's see what will happen. Now you will see that you see first of all how quickly it goes, and B, you will see when I zoom in, I can see more detail, and I can see how my vector data, my vector map is fitting together with my raster image. So I will zoom twice more, and you see a very nice detail and coverage of those details throughout of this Farmville. And you remember, maybe if I click one more time on the Map 2 button now, I will have no Google Map, I will have no Google Satellite, I will just see my vector map in the background. So this is how it can go. Now, all this, we need to say that we are not charging as a Carlson company a single penny to any of the users. If you are capable with our help to find your server, your maps, your orthophotos, your vector maps, and you put them on your server, and you need our help, that's all what is going to count. We are not charging anybody $500 or $600 or euros or whatever Swiss francs to any of the clients, because we think it's simple and it can be benefit for everybody who is using it. And we are not a service-oriented company, and also Carlson is not charging for their technical support anyhow since 30 years. So anybody who can and wish to use it, he can use it, and he can gain huge benefits with it. Now, I would like to share a few information with you. Be free to ask questions and so on. But I would like to share some information with you regarding an another tool which we use besides GIS360. You can imagine now that you have somebody as a controller in your office or in ministry, and he has actually no clue about GIS360 and about any of the GPSs which we are using. He just wants to see the productivity. He wants to see how the teams in the field are progressing with the survey. By the way, before I go there, you know, in the field, user doesn't need more or less to do nothing. He will save his data on a conventional way to his controller. He will go to file and he will go and save, and he will save a KML or KMZ file, and then you can see later, you can open this KML or KMZ file in a Google Earth, or anybody can open it in Google Earth, and you see all the parcels and all the attributes in the Google. That's also nice and fancy. So you can have a Google Earth as a free of charge viewer for the data for those people who do not have a GIS360 on the PC installed, because they don't understand, they don't want to understand, they have no time or whatever reason. So that user in the field will save it as KML, KMZ, but we can set up the GIS360 like this, that user don't need to bother, and his data will be automatically uploaded to a cloud server. And if it's uploaded to a cloud server, that means from the day one, when you start to save your data, you have a double security of your files, of your data. Data have a huge value for many, many organizations. If you lose the data, truck goes over your controller, don't cry, because your data will be on the cloud server. And this is honestly pretty safe and sound, like a kind of Fort Knox safety. And also if you have a server in your office, you know, you have a backups and all this, so you should be sure that your data are safe. But now, if you are on the PC, or you don't have a GIS360 running, like I said, somebody who has no connection to it, when you install the GIS360 for the PC, or even if you want to have it separately, we can manage this as well. The program will install automatically those three icons which you see here on my screen. One will be GIS360, second will be Carlson Cloud Explorer, and third will be Data Designer. Very quickly about Data Designer. Data Designer is a program which helps you to create your own schema. You can load and save file, and you go open, and you immediately land in a GIS360 program subdirectory called schema, and you want to do some, you know, kind of schema. It has extension XSD, it's more or less an XML file. You say open, and you see my default schema has this database, it's 3 cable length fence. If you want to add something, if you want to change something, I describe this and I use many details. Welcome to go through it. If you have any question, let us know. But you can do a lot of stuff with this Data Designer. But that's not the topic of this webinar. So let me go to Carlson Cloud Explorer. When you run a Carlson Cloud Explorer, you will more or less see exactly the same key icon on the upper left, like I had here on the tools and in the cloud subdirectory. You will see on my upper right was a key. So there I can put my Amazon cloud or whichever cloud server credentials. So you see I have here Richard Cloud, for example, my colleague who is listening and backupping me. We have a client from Mexico, his own cloud, and we have my cloud here. So I'm currently on the Richard Cloud. And what can we do on this cloud? So you remember, you don't need to have GIS360 running. This is independent program which which can run on any PC. All what we surveyed, all what has been surveyed from the day one, and all databases which have been surveyed from the day one are saved in this Carlson Cloud Explorer. Excuse me, wrong. They are not saved in Carlson Cloud Explorer. Explorer is just a tool to communicate to the cloud server and display what is on the cloud server. So you see, my colleague or our colleague Jesus has been probably listening as well, I can see, but he has been surveying some data recently in Spain. And I can say, okay, let me do some selection, because you know, Jesus was doing a lot of stuff here. We don't want to show everything. We can show everything, but I think we should do some selection. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this magnification glass, and this magnification glass, you can see this as a small GIS tool. I can say, oh, you know what, give me some field with the job name equal park dash PM70, and I will click, and you can, if you say some sub criteria, you can say, and give me also owners of the parcels with name of Jesus, and give me the all these parcels if they are bigger than 2,000 square meters of land. And you can do all this. When you are finished, you just click on yes. Now it will go to the server, like again, and refreshing this, all the list of thousands and thousands of the points, and bring the new selection. Just give him a second, and then we will see. Maybe I didn't.
You selected 1 point.
Okay, no, it's okay. He's doing now.
Now you need to.
Yeah, I will reselect again. He has a, you can see on the upper right side we have a 1470 items. So let me do this again. I apologize. Job name, Richard, am I right here?
Yes.
Park dash and PM70 700.
700.
Yeah. And I will say yes. Okay, now he made a selection, and from 1,470 I only have a 57 points. I can also select all. I can do like this, and I can click on the next icon, which you see a Google Earth icon. You just click on it. What is going to happen, you see my Google Earth is starting, and you will see what will happen now. It's going to zoom exactly where the Jesus was doing those data, the survey in real time, and you see now everything what he surveyed. I can click on it, and I have all attributes, including, you know, accuracy, including all the attributes which we have by default for the cloud. And you have what is the number of your satellites, what was your accuracy, etc., etc. You can imagine. But this can be half of this. This can be only 3 or 4 icons. Yes, Richard, please.
Yeah, you should point out that this was actually collected with serve-CE.
Yes,
GIS360 could have collected it, but in this case, this is a link from serve-CE into the GIS360 cloud.
That's correct. By the way, for all those who are using our serve-CE, you should know that serve-CE is going to support from a new build, and maybe Jesus can tell more, the full, exactly the same cloud, Carlson Cloud Explorer, and it's already working now, and I'm not sure it's a new build, but all these capabilities you will have exactly like we've just been talking about using serve-CE as well. So if you want to see something else, let me show you maybe some other databases which I have here.
Can I throw in one thing there?
Please, Richard.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to, there's a save button on that screen, and you can save as a CRD.
Correct.
And you can go straight from there to Carlson Desktop. In which case, it's as if in the same way a user could have saved a CRD file in the field and went to Carlson Desktop, you can make the CRD and go straight to the desktop from the cloud, and it'll be exactly the same. Yeah,
That's
go
good.
ahead.
That's good. Thank you, Richard. Now what you see, I changed to GPS point. Now you can imagine, we had different cases in Southeast Asia and in Africa that the ministries are a bit careful, and they've been misused, especially in the forestry industry and the similar industries. They employ subcontractors to go and to measure something. I'm sorry to say, but there are some crooks outside, and they never go outside. They fake the measurements because they don't want to go to jungle. They don't want to go to 20 hours drive and 10 hours walking. They faked that they did it. With our, even if now somebody will ask, how can you save your data in the cloud if you have no data reception in the jungle? Yes, you cannot do that, but as soon as you come closer to the civilization, all our data are buffered, and they will instantly go to the cloud as soon as you are close to the internet connection. So even if you're not doing it real time, besides you're saving the data on your hard disk, all data will be also in the cloud as soon as you have an internet connection. So now the ministry said, Kuzo and the team, we need security. And I think we can give the security. We can give a GPS points, track record, what was the PDO value, what number of satellites you had, what was your coordinate where you were, what was your GPS second, and your quality and your accuracy, etc., etc. All this data, all these GPS points, you would like to see them, I can list them, more and more. You can also use exactly the same method like I was showing before, and you can click on a Google Earth button, and now he's going to move to other part of the world and show you something. I think this is from Laos, and you will see the Laos, and you will see a little bit other attributes, because this client, the government, said we need our metadata. They only need their accuracy, their DGPS accuracy, they need the quality, they need the point number, and they need number of satellites and dot value, and that's it. And they need also LLA, which is latitude and longitude and so on. So this is how it goes with this cloud. And okay, what else is maybe, this can be also a control mechanism for also companies and owner of the businesses to see how productive the teams are in the field. Because every time when he refresh here any of the databases, he will see another number of the points or another number of the parcels or another number of the pipelines or whatever is the major topic of their survey. So he can see how much has been made for an hour or day, and this could also be used for good statistical analysis. How many teams I need to employ, how quickly I can do a whole project. All this can be achieved with this tool. So this is what, Richard, do you want to add something maybe?
No, there are a couple of other things you can get out of that as well. You can also plot in real time the positions of your teams. So you don't just see when they collect data, you can also see where they are and what they're doing. So, and all sorts of interesting bits of information, which team always starts working after 1 o'clock in the afternoon sort of thing. You can sort of keep an eye on them a bit.
That's correct. That's correct. Okay, now I think we showed most of the features. What Richard said, if you want to save this as a CRD file, you click on the disk button, disk icon on a Carlson Cloud Explorer, and you can see here you can save this as a CSV file or CRD files. CRD, like Richard said, go immediately to Carlson Survey, Carlson Civil, and CSV file, it's a more or less an Excel or text spreadsheet, so you can use it for any other purpose what you may need. And you can also do it with Excel directly as well. So this is, if you don't want any data and you want to delete something, you have a basket on the right upper corner next to this number of items, 150. On the right-hand side of the Carlson Cloud Explorer, you can also see our current projects on the Richard in Cloud. He has F4C data, PRJ, and test3 PRJ. And if you want to leave the program, you just click on the exit button, and then I'm going to start with GIS360 again. So basically, we promised you about an hour of cloud and cloud features of GIS360. If you have any questions, please ask them now. For whoever needs to contact me or Richard is welcome. My email address is kuzo@carlsonsw.com. Richard address is rtrainer@carlsonsw.com. So be welcome and contact us. If you want to contact me personally over Skype, my Skype address is kuzohouse. House is with H-A-U-S. Kuzo, K-U-Z-O-H-A-U-S. I will stay online for any questions, and we'll be pleased to answer them if any, and in the meantime I can talk further as long as I don't see any questions as such. What else maybe we can show you? Yes, what I wanted to show you, remember I said if I save this file as a KMZ, which I will do now, you see here I will change my directory. I will say I will put it to desktop. I will say Farmville Kuzo, and I will click here on, no, I will click here and say webinar, and I will save it on my desktop. Sorry, maybe I will do something else. I will save it on the documents. Apologize. I know why, because I'm using kind of Mac and Windows environment. I will save this on my documents in the webinar. In my Mac, and then I will. Let's say I'm now saving this. This is now landed on a desk of my boss, and he will say, "Hey, Kuzo, what you did today?" I will go to Documents, and I will look for a new file there. So let me see. What is a Farmville Kuzo? Did I save it there? Just a second. Documents. Farmville Kuzo Webinar KMZ. You see? Let's say you ignore that I have a GIS360, please. I will minimize my virtual windows. I don't have a Google Earth now. I will also close this, and I will not save anything. And I have, you can imagine somebody who has no clue about surveying anything, he will, he will go here and he will just get the file from you, double click on it without using Carlson Cloud Explorer as well, by the way. You don't need even to have this if you don't want. And everything what I surveyed, everything what I saved or imported will be saved, and it says KMZ, and if I click on any of the parcels, you see all the attributes and everything else. So a very powerful and tool which is for free. So Richard, any questions are coming? Do you see any?
Nope. Oh wait, hold it.
Nope. Okay. Because I'm not sure that I can see them.
Wait, hold it. Sorry, I had a little problem there.
Okay, I see now the questions from, let's answer from the number one. Is it possible to customize push pins to the symbols I want?
Yes.
That was a question from Andreas. Yes, we have in a data designer. I will go back quickly to, I apologize, because I was talking, I didn't saw these questions coming.
I didn't either. I was looking in the chat box, wrong box there.
No problem. I think hopefully the colleagues are still there. So let me run the data designer. So you see here, Andrews, you see here we have a lot of symbols which you can choose from. But you can also import in our directory, you can import your own symbols and then integrate them as a pin or instead of pin or something else.
They're just icon files.
Just an icon, yes. If this answers your question, fine. If not, please ask more question. Let me see the next one. You need to add layers sets saving feature for WFS service. You load it only 4 and 5 layers. While I have to load all or just part of them, let's say from 30 to 150 layers. Okay. You mean instantly to save all of them, Richard?
Yeah. Notice when Kuzo selected the layers, they went into a box on the screen, and
Yes.
I was going to make that box default to whatever it was loaded last. So if you have 30 layers or 50 or 150, it would automatically pop up with those layers. And so you wouldn't have to select them each time. It would just come back to where you left off.
Okay, I will show this in a bit. I hope this will answer. Is it possible to pre-load WFS data before going out of the field? I do not want to depend on... Yeah, that's sure.
Absolutely.
You can do this. No restriction. You know, like I'm doing now, I have a unit, field unit I have in office. What I can go, you know, I go to my field unit and I exactly preload this like I was showing you, you know, using WFS link here. And when you're finished, you can just put your unit in a standby and you go to the field. No big deal.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
next question from Michael.
We also, generally, I will frequently use project files as a way of loading the field machine. So get all the data you like in the office on your screen, save it as a project file, and just load it onto the field machine, and then reverse the process when you get back.
Correct. Thank you, Richard. We have a question from Michael Singer. Another option to be sure that the team is in the field would be if the data entry field will only open in the coordinate of the GPS is close to the point.
Funny thing is, we've just had a very similar requirement to that, which we've done. So basically, it's possible to make it so that a item will only open if you're within X number of meters of it. So let's say you're within 10 meters of the sewer, then you can open it, but you can't open it unless you are physically there. Is that answering that question?
I think that was a question from Michael. Michael will write us if this is answering his question. I will, in the meantime, say hello to Aris. Aris, I think, I'm not sure, but I think we'll see each other in Sweden in beginning of May. So I'm very pleased to see you soon. Your question is, what if you have maps with the different coordinate systems? Richard, maybe you can answer, but logically, you know, if you have a different coordinate systems, the tricky point is, Aris, you can handle it easy as long as you know how to handle your project file. Because if you have a project file for this part of the downtown of Farmville, and this is in one coordinate system, and you move 3 kilometers away, and it's another coordinate system, you just load an other project file first, and then you load your WFS map to it. And that's easy.
Well, the other thing to consider is that the underlying structure of our system is WGS84. So what happens is, let's say you load, you can load maps in 3 different coordinate systems. It will convert them all into WGS84, and you can use them all, and you can then export them into any of those 3 coordinate systems you want. So if you're in an area near a border or something, or you've got different maps in different systems, it shouldn't be a problem.
Thank you, Richard. Aris, I hope this answers your question. If anything, drop me a mail or Skype. Ernest, yes, no big deal. Our colleague Ernest from Ghana, we can do it. I'm traveling tomorrow to our client Attenberger and dealer and friends. but from Monday I can, maybe even if I'm in the office of Altenberger, I can give you one or other hint if you need me urgently tomorrow. If not, Ernest, I'm at your disposal on Monday. And I see you probably soon in Accra anyhow. Okay, we have a next question from Andreas again. I mean, when I do the topography, there are a lot of objects. Okay, and I see all the points have coordinates instantly. Is it possible to process raw measuring from TS and GPS and submit data only afterwards? Oh, you mean, Andreas, you mean when you say, look, basically we are real-time mapping team. We do a real-time mapping. But even if you do something like you have your DGPS receiver and you are doing some survey and you want to post-process this, yes, we are very proud that GIS360 has our own post-processing engine for L1, GPS and GLONASS DGPS devices. So if you have your base station data and you have a rover data and you have your KMZ file, that could be a next topic for next webinar, which I can plan to show you how the post-processing do. You can do it. But you know what? Everything what we do, when you put a point on the map, it has a coordinate. Is this coordinate end coordinate of yours, or you need to post-process it? That depends on which unit you are using and which quality of the GPS you want to have. About the total station, no, we can't. Richard, you correct me please, but raw measurement from total station, I'm not sure. Maybe if we import CRD files, Richard, we maybe need to try these ones, but I never tried, Andrews, honestly speaking.
I did put it in as part of the Save GPS option.
Okay.
And that, but I don't think it's enabled at the moment. There is a as Kuzo showed in Laos, whenever they collect a point, they get a record of the quality data. I did actually put it in so that every time a total station measurement is made, it would save the measurements.
Okay, yes, that's correct.
But I don't think it's enabled at the moment.
Yeah, okay. If in a very strong need, Andrews, please let us know. Okay, I saw your comments and questions. Yeah, thank you for mentioning this, Andrews. GIS360 is working with millimeter accurate GPSs or centimeter accurate or decimeter accurate or any GPS, better to say. All the drivers which you know from our well-known SURF-CE program, we are using them as well in GIS360 plus few additionals for a DGPS post-processing base and rover, which I just mentioned. So I'm talking about around 400, 440 different drivers which we are using in the moment. And our projects mostly are in the centimeter accuracy. So the people are using RTK devices as well. Our newest project is in Bosnia. They decide for 40 controllers and 40 GIS 360, they are going to use it with a DGPS accuracy. So what the GIS can do for you in a DGPS accuracy, not only that you can collect VAS and EGNOS data and you can add this accuracy to your standalone position, but you can also connect to Entrip server of your country if they are providing RTCM messages 2.3, which is for L1 GPS and GLONASS. We have few data controllers which we are supporting, which have an Entrip capability, and our program has anyhow Entrip capability. So I will show you this quickly in our devices menu here. And if I go to GPS, and yeah, you will see now if I go to let me go to Carlson drivers for the DGPS. I would like to show you this. Just give me a second, please. We are on the Carlson here, and I will go to Carlson generic DGPS NEMA. And this is exactly like you get used on the SURF-CE when you are choosing your TCP/IP network and your access to the ntrip server and your username and password. And if your country is providing this service, be welcome. GIS360 is give you support on this as well. So I hope answering all of your questions. I will appreciate and say thank you for everybody who was online and stick with us for 1 hour and 15 minutes. If any questions, like I said, please contact us. We'll be pleased to answer. And we are capable to learn from you as well. We are not masters of universe, but we try to do our best. So I will thank to everybody who is using GIS360 so far for their support. If they have any questions, contact us. And who are new in this group and the webinar, we are encouraging you to start to use, I think, our powerful GIS360. For those who are new, on our carlsonsw.com website, you can find under the GIS segment of the website, you will find GIS360, and you can download it from there. You can download the literature, you can download the user manual, or in the movie section of our carlsonsw.com, you can find about 15 short movies which will give you and gain you a confidence how to use the GIS360 in the field. So everybody, have a nice day, have a nice afternoon, or have a nice evening wherever you are. And I hope I will hear or see you soon in your locations or online. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you, Richard, for supporting me. Have a nice day, gentlemen and ladies. Thank you. Bye.